Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode on problem solving. Last time, in last couple of episodes, we are discussing the intraspace, the heart, the mind, and the soul. The heart and the mind and the soul is going to rule the universe of problems that come to us. The heart, the mind, and the soul, the effectiveness and affectation by that is to the extent that it is going to decide the kind of problems that keep coming to us. The design of the current problem, the problem profile, we have yet not got into this subject, but remember the term problem profile, it will come sooner than later. The problem profile is directly proportional to how this part of your body works. How this part of the body works. Still, the fact remains you're going to qualify it as a problem, which has got a negative connotation. So here we are. We're going to now re-look at the problem, the body, the mind, the soul, the intelligence of the problem. We're also going to look at that. So normally, now, pardon me, but we are entering a more and more metaphysical space. So this might confuse a couple of my young friends who are listening into this. Okay, should you feel any disturbance, any disorder, you can always consult somebody senior around you, maybe a father, maybe a grandfather, or simply write to me. I'll be more than happy to indulge into some micro issues or problems, because you will talk about your life, which I do not know, so that becomes a micro for me, and it helps our research. As I say for the third time probably, that this courses is like online research. I'm not here to deliver my knowledge, my education on this. I'm rather trying to make you take your company to look at problems. We are rather going together hunting for problems. You like it? We are there, co-hunters of the problems. Coming back to this, why does it happen that problems are treated as problems? Because they enter a space of our mind occupied uninvited. Uninvited. A best of the friend, not invited, coming at a wrong time will trouble you, isn't it? You're no more the same person. He no more looks the same person. I mean, how come he's my best friend? We should have known. I've got my own work. I'm tied up with something. I have this to attend and that to attend. So your good friend becomes a problem because he's come at the wrong time. But timing is a mathematical puzzle. But timing is a mathematical puzzle even for gods and goddesses. Even for gods and goddesses. They don't know which is the right time. When this fellow Sunny will accept me there. They don't know. Hundreds of things are happening in the universe, and they are directing the show. How could they decide upon a certain act, a certain event happening in Sunny's life? Timing is a big mathematical problem. The moment that occurs is much easy for me to accept and understand, but it's very difficult for gods and goddesses to design. Just look at it. considering the kind of provisions they have and the kind of challenges they have, it is unmatched. The provisions do not match the challenge. Because here it is me who expresses my desire, better not now, later please. Somebody wants to withdraw money from my account, better not now, later please, tomorrow, let the money be there for a while. Somebody wants to give me upsetting news, he said, better tomorrow, let me have a good sleep. If you think timing is an extraneous act, please empathize with gods and goddesses also. It's a very, very difficult mathematics. And then anything that happens is not going to happen just like that. It's come through a process. And it will continue to be a process. It will come through a process. It will continue to be a process. The rain, the heat, the break of the soil, the nutrition, they're all the part of the processes. The floods and the whirlpools and the volcanoes, they're all the part of processes. Giant processes. The nucleus of that was born years and years before my intellect bore a substance. That started years before my intellect bore a substance. I can only make a comment, a casual comment, but that's not the way of understanding the issues. So once we come to understanding the dynamics of life, I wonder whether I can stop myself from using arithmetic to the hilt, stopping myself from algebraic excursions, avoiding the geometric view of the world. These are the little small tools that I have with me, which would at least help us within the framework that we are operating. It'll help us identify things, identify processes. It will not be simple A is equal to B. It might be A is equal to B plus C. It might be A is equal to half B plus 2. It might be quadratic. B is equal to A square minus 2. B is equal to A square minus 2A divided by 5. What have you? Sciences have gone deep into understanding even chemical synthesis, the reaction engineering. They're using integrations and differentiations to understand reaction engineering. Oh my God, such a micro, such an unseen process. They have done that. They've expanded the scope for mathematics there. So why not we use a bit of mathematics to explore the problem dimensionality, the problem character, the problem personality, the problem's history, the problem's future. So the problem comes to us unannounced, untimely. It's timely, but it is untimely for me. So we tend to look at problem as a grave issue, of distraction. I often find it very funny when a bowler has gone to the top of the bowling mark, maybe has run 30 yards, 40 yards, darting in, he's all prepared his mind to decide where to pitch, what to do, what length, what speed, what trajectory, against the field that he has set. And suddenly, the batsman withdraws. Like it. At least there are some people who have a provision to postpone problems. There's some people who have provision to postpone problems. The lightning is falling, and you say, hello, I'm in my dinner. Can you please see me a minute later? If lightning is going to devastate, you might as well go empty stomach to a hospital. Why not? It's a very morbid chapter of human life. Come back to this. So I'm happy about the situations where the batsman has a chance, or sometimes the bowler also backs out, say, I've done a wrong footing, I'm a side-on bowler, and I think because my foot was stuck, I suddenly became a square shoulder bowler, and that's not my way. I won't be able to get a pace out of it, so he withdraws from bowling. He has completely destroyed the batsman's plans to play a snake, to play a leg glance, to sweep the ball, to hook the ball. He's completely destroyed the batsman's plans. I'm happy about both the situations. But that's not a prototype field. Real life is not a prototype field. It is happening, it is happening, it is happening. The time will not come back again. The bowler might come back, the batsman might take a stance once more, but the time will not come back. Where are we? Therefore, we tend to look at problem as an obstruction because we don't have the chance to stop the bowler. We don't have the chance to stop the batsman from hitting me, from hitting him. Obstruction is eminent every time the problem comes. The obstruction is eminent. We are worried more about the aftermath, the obstruction. I'm having a dinner, the lightning wants to fall. I've just taken a time from the lawyer, I want to rush to a lawyer, and my friend comes. There's an obstruction, and problem per se may not be as big as the obstruction it causes. We feel harassed. We feel harassed by the factor of obstruction. That could be a severe emotional disorder. That could lead to a severe emotional disorder. That is why when we are stuck with problems, we feel small. Have you seen anybody looking like a giant when there is a problem around him? Certainly not. If at all the person becomes giant, it is the spirituality which has come and held him around with all his hands and defended that person. The devil is the God who surrounds him. Obstruction is an issue. So, May we therefore not worry so much about the timing of the problem, because anyway it is a larger mathematics. There is no one-man victimization possible in this universe. There is no one-man victimization possible in this universe. There are groups and types of people suffering on account of something. If you are rushing out, the friend will bother you. If you are jolly well sleeping in the bed and wanting to do nothing in the day, probably the friend comes as a dinner party to you, as an excursion to you. He's dropped in your house. You're going to be staying there, but it will be like an excursion to you. It will be like a musical concert to you. It will be like a stand-up comedy show for you. Obstruction is a problem. In the next episode, we are going to look at the intellectual counteraction to this obstruction. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for being part of this forum, part of the discussion. As often as I say, and often I say, and as often I say, come to problem solving, come to life.